is I definitely got to check my list after this death segment. It's a lot going on. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Have fun, be merry, and enjoy the series.
I wonder what Achieves thinks of these glasses. All right.
Achieves would probably say, Stax, if you wore those correctly and not to look like an idiot, you'd probably look great. That's probably close to what he would say, right? And Stax, look, this starts out exactly how we expected. First killer putting the ball in the back of the net, and we move on.
Yeah, pretty much. Boy, another kickoff goal for Rogue. I mean, their kickoffs have been solid. You know, now that they're not up against, say, Space Station, things are working out okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Rogue just had, like, I'm pretty sure I talked about this earlier when we were watching Rogue play. But they just have an issue against Space Station because Space Station have 3 players that can do whatever they want with the ball. They can control it, they can slow it down, they can speed it up, they can do everything. And Rogue only have one mode that they ever want to play, Stax, and that's Supersonic. Now, for First Killer, this is what has helped him climb through the ranks, the community tournaments, and eventually the RLCS. And it's still working for him. However, Space Station are certainly going to be a tough cookie to crack. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking at when they look at this match. Have Rogue built the tools necessary to beat Space Station?
Yeah, I joked earlier about First Killer passing to the only player he truly trusts on the team, himself. But sometimes, you know, you just got to tell everybody to get out of your way, give you the ball, and just let you work. First Killer, he has the ability to do that.
He really does. You know, he is a Justin. I remember how long, Stax, in the community we called First Killer the NA Scrub Killer back before even Scrub could play in RLCS. Like, people were dubbing him that in the community, and he's done nothing, in my opinion, but solidify all of the hype around him for that. His control is phenomenal, rivaled only by the likes of those like Justin.
Yeah, North America, Europe, OCE even. I mean, they all have that one player that everybody's looked at like, oh, as soon as he's able to play in the RLCS, you know, in Europe, of course, Scrub Killer, OCE, you're looking at a guy like Hawk. Like, yes, eventually, when they can get into the league, they're going to be something real special to watch. And they have been, you know. Scrub Killer has finally won a world championship. You know, the jury's still out on First Killer as he's kind of taken over this Rogue squad. And then, you know, of course, time will tell with Hawk.
Well, I mean, I think First Killer's got so much still to develop. Like, even compared to if you jet back to Season 9 Stax, like, he's completely evolved as a player. Yeah, he's still the fast, you know, aggressive mechanical player, but he definitely uses more of the pitch and uses his team more, where, you know, before, if First Killer felt any ounce of pressure, it's, okay, solo air dribble, force a 50, hopefully we score, but, you know, you don't find much success like that at the top level. It certainly helps for First Killer that he's finally on a roster with players that he's played with for years. Having both Turinturo and Taroko on his professional team means the world for him. I mean, he's played so much better since this roster change. Like, all the eyes have been on Taroko overall, right? And Wonder Mike will pick this back up. All the eyes have been on First Killer and Taroko, excuse me, and his improvement. But overall, like, how have Turo and First Killer looked since adding Taroko? I'd argue way better. Way better.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about the familiarity with each other, and, you know, this is like this generation of players all coming up together, and, you know, they play a different style from those that, you know, have been veterans for so long. It's just the game looks a little bit different to them, and now that you have them all like-minded, they seem to be on the same page. First Killer doing First Killer things here, but you've also got on the other side players very familiar with them who have been grinding against them in these tournaments time and time again. And that's how you get all these really close matchups where a lot of times it feels like a coin flip.
Yeah, and that whole generation of players too, they make up the entirety of that A to B tier team, Stax. You know, eUnited are also chock full of 3 of those players. Oh, that was so close. A perfectly executed team play that ended up resulting in a save. eUnited have looked a lot better since those 2 quick goals by First Killer, by the way. I know we've been kind of setting the stage for both the teams, but eUnited in the last 30 or so seconds have put some pressure on Rogue, and they're going to have to wait back a little bit.
Well, Wonder Mike, you look at eUnited, you've got two collegiate players. You've got Ajax, played for LSU once upon a time. Tristan with Akron. Wonder Mike, the only reason he's not a former or current collegiate player is just he's not in college yet. So, there have been kind of like the maturity questions raised with Mike, and I think he's done a great job answering those criticisms and those questions all throughout RLCSX. He's found a place that he's really comfortable with playing, and you look at what he's done this week with eUnited.
Yeah,
boy, it is special.
I totally agree, and every time I've talked to Wonder Mike, the kid seems to have a really good head on his shoulders, and that's really nice and kind of refreshing to see, Stax, in a world lately that's been full of, look, you're a little hot-headed. There's some hot-headed teenagers in this scene. You don't hear about everything as a fan that goes on in like comms or tryouts or anything like that about certain players that are toxic or what have you. But it's nice, at least in the times I've personally talked to Wonder Mike and what I hear from my peers about Wonder Mike, everything seems to line up. And that's why he's just, it's so easy to root for him, because not only is he a solid player, but also seems to be a solid kid as well.
We talked earlier before the game about what this series could devolve into, and it really did turn into First Killer versus Wonder Mike. It was First Killer 2, Wonder Mike 1. And that's scoreline as Rogue takes game 1. We might have a player that needs to either reboot or restart things. No, I guess they're okay. So there we go. But not a super eventful first game. It was another low-scoring game, like many of Rogue's games early on in series this week. And over time, Rogue has ramped up with the scoring. We'll see if they can get that going against eUnited here, who figures to be a very tough defensive team.
Yeah, I think eUnited actually match up pretty well against Rogue, which is why I said in the pregame that I didn't feel like it was slam dunk Rogues. It's just eUnited also like to play high in the air. And Rogue just happened to execute, I think, a little more consistently. I think Taroko has certainly helped with that, but that's where a lot of the game is fought and eventually won, whether it's from like a high, hard pass down to the ground or vice versa. That's partly why Rogue are so strong on the transition, or why they feel so strong on the transition, is because of that style of play that they like to do. But you have two players in Tristan and Wonder Mike, as you were talking early on, Stax, and even Ajax, that are capable of playing that dogfight if they want, or, scoring goals like this.
Yeah, sometimes,
What a bounce. Jeez.
Yeah, okay. I don't blame Rogue for not being able to stop that. Sometimes that just ends up, as Dazarin says, in my net.
I mean, I don't know how the ball bounced that hard, even with the power behind it from Wonder Mike. Like, was it even power? Could you even call that power? Like, why'd the ball bounce so high? I'm really so confused. Someone call rocket science.
Physics.
Someone call rocket science.
And stuff.
Rocket science, great YouTuber, by the way. One of the best.
Fantastic.
If not the best Rocket League YouTuber out there. Yeah, I know all you Lethamir stands out there. Yeah, you didn't mention Lethamir. This custom master amazing. I have acknowledged and praised. I love Lethamir. Great guy. The rocket science is great.
Do we have to list all of them now? Like, do you have to list like Sunless Khan, Mertzi, John Sandman, etc., etc., etc.?
John Sandman.
Oh, what a thing.
That was nice from Taroko, but now you need to clear. Oh, you fool, Taroko. You thought Tristan was going to hit that ball. Well, luckily for you, Toronto's there to back you out. Did I say back you out? I meant bail you out. Backing you out would mean like, hey, look, we're just going to remove you from the situation. But I guess that's sort of similar, right?
Yeah, Dazarin thinks that I like to throw my co-casters under the bus. I was not going to say anything about it.
You absolutely, there's no question about that whatsoever.
I plead the fifth.
You can't plead. You state that Dazarin accuses you of throwing your casters under the bus, something that I can certainly corroborate. And you can't just no comment something you brought up. What is that? Look at that double. Can you hit doubles like that, Stax? Ajax can.
Yeah, that is sick. Ajax right down the field off that feed from Wonder Mike. And I mean, just nobody went up. The first killer, I think he took an awkward angle at that, or did he get hit?
I'd have to look at it from his perspective. It was hard to tell from right there. I'm not sure if he got bumped or not, but either way. Strong push here from eUnited, but this is where look, 3 minutes in, and I'm going to put on my caster analysis hat and say, if they don't figure it out, they're not quick. If they score too many goals, they're going to lose the match. That's essentially what was about to come out of my mouth, Stax. I was about to make the argument that eUnited are going to score too many goals and then lose the match, but Rogue scored, so that's cool.
Well, here's a team of when they score more goals, they win more games. Boom!
Thank you. If the receiver catches the ball in the end zone, it's a touchdown. If the ball crosses the plane, it's a goal.
Unless he had
no more. We don't need any more commentary, Stax. Silence.
Yeah, right.
From now on.
Boom. Oh.
That's not silence.
It's not silence. Fine. You want a silent night for the rest of this game? Boy, we're about to make Reddit really happy.
Twitch chat's not happy right now. Forget Reddit. Twitch chat's very upset. But, you know, I'm not upset as eUnited are still in the lead. Maybe not for long, though. There hasn't really been a lot of routes in for eUnited, though. Tristan might have just generated an opportunity. Look how fast it is on transition, and eUnited expect it, too. It's like if they see a player on Rogue on the back wall, even if he's not necessarily like directly near the play, eUnited back off on their rotation because they know that Rogue are coming quick on the transition, and they have every time. It's like eUnited definitely got the right beat on the play, but they're not winning these 50s that put them in the driver's seat.
Oh, what a pass out to first. Killer's shot denied by Tristan. He's got a savior medal with 90 seconds to go here in game 2. eUnited trying to tie up this series. They have been in a battle with Rogue over the last 10 minutes. They are not getting let off the hook at all. Rogue just keeps slamming the ball right to the back wall, forcing eUnited to make save after save, clear after clear.
Yeah, well, no one's taken like an advanced position in midfield for eUnited. They're letting Rogue transition. I mean, it's fine. They've been able to get that initial clear, but what happens when Rogue they start sending that first man a little farther forward, and now you're contested rather than trying to like force the ball to the corner along the back wall? Eventually, you're gonna have to find a presence in midfield, or who knows? Maybe they can really do this for the next minute. It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter. None of it matters.
What is Rocket League? What is defense?
It's like you can do all the right things in the world, right? If you're Rogue, it's like, oh, transitions are so good. Oh, in eUnited are like, yeah, but we got the counter. We can just pull it back in the corner, no problem. And then like, but it's still like, yeah, but Rogue got the midfield, and it's like, Jorby, no one gives a crap about the midfield. The ball just went into Rogue's net, so does it matter? And the answer is no, Jorby, it doesn't matter. Wonder Mike puts another one in the net, and eUnited are crushing them.
Yeah, welcome to the Wonder Mike show. He is everywhere. Pinpoint accuracy. I mean, first killer recovers on the wall there by the post, and he's like, okay, he's gonna shoot this. I got this. I got this. I don't got this. 4-1 eUnited clap right back against Rogue, and we've got a fun little series on our hands here as the final 30 seconds are gonna tick away.
And it is a testament to eUnited's defense that, you know, sometimes the play is to let the other team have midfield. I just get concerned when it's the only thing you resort to and you can't actually take any sort of, you know, driving position with the ball, because that's the best way you beat Rogue. But Rogue do have a tendency to push a little or bite a little bit more than they can chew. And that's what happened in game 2. eUnited definitely punishing them multiple times.
Well, two very different games so far in this series, as we've come to expect. I mean, it's fitting this happens in winter. No two snowflakes are alike. No two games are alike, especially when Rogue's involved, because they have these series that just kind of evolve game by game. And I think that probably has a lot to do with their coach, Corrupted G, because I think he's one of the better ones right there, along with Chrome, at getting his team to make adjustments on the fly and recognize their mistakes of where they need to improve as the series goes on, rather than just kind of sitting there letting it go for a couple of games, hoping that the players will figure it out.
Yeah, and I mean, you do see those adjustments from Rogue. Like they truly never stick to like one trick. I did say earlier that, they only like to play supersonic, and I still hold to that. Yeah, they try to make some adjustments. Maybe they don't harass midfield as much. Maybe they don't go for as many bumps or demos, and maybe they go for more control. But they're always holding the boost button down. I'm still convinced that First Killer has the tape button on his boost, and just so he could forget about that button, so he could free up his fingers for all the other buttons. That's how he's so good. Fun fact.
Well, we'll see what happens with Game 3. How many more twists and turns will this series take? Will eUnited continue to kind of snowball this advantage, or does Rogue get some contributions from somebody not named First Killer? Birthday Boy's got all 3 goals that Rogue has scored in this series. They need somebody else to step up. I mean, Taroko has been dead silent for much of the day. This goes all the way across, and Turinturo will try to set up Taroko.
Yeah, but Taroko hasn't had to do much either. Oh. I thought that one was looking a little dangerous. I feel like that's kind of how Rogue want to perform that way. When we were talking to Corrupted G during the post-game interview, that's kind of what he was alluding to, like getting Taroko up to speed and eventually working his way fully into this rotation. But I do think today's been better than other days that he's looked, and he's just in the right spot for this one.
There's sometimes you just feel like it's obvious Taroko has the stream open. It's like, yo, Taroko, do something. Hit a shot. Make yourself useful. Bang, goal.
Like, watch,
score another
Stax,
one
I'll dial this one up for you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You probably get a hat trick this game. Maybe an overtime winner to go with it.
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm going to lose all my models
what a shot from first, though. All right, now Rogue's kicking it into high gear. But so too is eUnited. It's a double from Wonder Mike.
Oh, man. This is kind of nasty. You saw Ajax jump initially, and he's like, oh, no, that's Wonder's ball. He's got it. It's like, no one's back. I'm just going to go down. But Ajax jumped thinking, yeah, Wonder Mike is going to connect with me. And then he saw it. He's like, oh, no, it's the Wonder Mike show.
I'm up? No, you ain't.
He's like, no. It's me.
Well, 2 impressive goals to start things off. Wonder Mike's gets a few more style points, but it counts all the same. 1-1 after 1 minute. More offense, though, out of eUnited, and this is what I worry about for Rogue. I don't know if they can stop Wonder Mike. They almost have to try and just outscore him because he's just so prolific a scorer on that side of the field. That is one answer for Tristan. Taroko dropped out of First Killer. Enough for the shot. They went for contact on Ajax, didn't get him. Coming way up is Turo, and that's just going to be a little bit wide. Rogue denied a really good-looking opportunity. Now you got to worry about the counterattack coming back the other way.
This hasn't been too bad. Oh, man, this is so close. What is it about eUnited where they just... eUnited, Alpine, the Pittsburgh Knights, outside of Space Station Gaming, I mean, what is it about these teams that they're just able to play above their station, that when they play against Envy or Rogue or G2 or NRG, like, they rise to the occasion and they make it a harder fight than you expect. And I just don't, I don't know, it just shows you how much, 95% mental Rocket League is at this level, Stax. To just perform better against what you would argue is objectively better teams. To play better against them than you do against, say, sipping ice cubes. It blows my mind. I don't know. It's just like to see United play this well. It's like, are they actually on an uptrend, or am I just seeing more of what I've seen out of them of the same? Playing Rogue close, playing these top teams close, but either failing to pull off the upset or pulling off one upset and then not doing it again for another month or two.
Well, that's a big help by Wonder Mike coming right down the middle of the zone to help out his teammates. They were in a tough spot, or at least trouble was brewing from the Rogue offense. Still a chance, so that second touch might have thrown everything off a little bit. It was necessary. I don't know if Taroko necessarily agreed. This goes right through. Wonder Mike does it again. He's got 5 of the 7 that EU has in the series.
Oh, that's 100%. Look at that. Wonder Mike, he knows with the amount of boost that he has, a lot of players will try to carry that up with height and let it fly. You know, maybe they can force the challenge upwards and it comes straight down in front of the box. But instead, Wonder Mike lets the ball fall down in front of him before he actually starts boosting again, so he actually can square up on the challenge, which is the way smarter way to approach that. Again, he plays ones. You expect that out of players like that. Excellent job from Wonder Mike.
The game just moving in slow motion for him right now. We talked about maybe Taroko having the pop off this game, but it has been all Wonder Mike as it has been through this series. Taroko, though, does start this little counterattack charge, so first killer didn't quite have the read or the boost to go after it. Now Tristan dumps one back in, and it is only Ajax to beat, but he makes the challenge. Taroko demolished, and Wonder Mike adds another. It's a hat trick in game 3.
Rogue's offense has just completely disappeared. In fact, demolished out of the field. And that one, a little bit more involvement from Ajax. Rogue haven't been able to hang on to the ball at all. I'm like sitting here a little stunned because they started the match so strong. And you're thinking, okay, it really is going to be the first killer show again. Taroko had started working his way in early, got the first goal for Rogue, and the only goal for Rogue.
Oh, what a center. Unfortunately, Wonder Mike couldn't add to his total, but
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, eUnited, it's a simple strategy right now, right? Just, you know, throw it in the general vicinity of Wonder Mike, let him score, take the easy dub, and go on to face the Knights.
Easy. I mean, it feels like it's been that easy, although I will say, Ajax and Tristan are doing work. Tristan hasn't had to do work today. That's the big key. Do Rogue score? Yes, they do. All right, first killer gets that put in. I like the delay here from first killer. That's the best chance you have at that goal. Wonder Mike, or excuse me, it was Tristan, not Wonder Mike, who was coming across, expecting first killer to hit the ball a little bit faster or earlier.
Well, here we go. Last chance for Rogue to get back into game 3. Got to have some last second heroic.
Oh my God!
And it pinballs around. Oh, that was the chance for Rogue. Oh. It goes by the wayside, and eUnited hang on by a thread, a frayed thread at that.
Oh. We've seen all kinds of crazy stuff off the crossbar today. Wow!
Shots. He had as many as Rogue. I figured it was a lot, but my goodness.
You know, someone got really upset at me, Stax, one time for using robbed incorrectly. However, Rogue definitely got robbed off that shot. I do not know how eUnited saved that ball, but I also don't know what Rogue's path is back into this series. It's just going to, you know, they just got to get behind the ball, win their boost, work on their boost management, shot placement, ball carrying, first touches, you know, all that kind of stuff. Get off Octane, play Fennec, Batmobile outdated, Dominus overrated, whatever you want to call Stax. I don't know.
Might as well just like break out the Esper, break out the Scarab, just like do all sorts of wacky stuff. Yeah, sure, the Gizmo. The Hot Shot. Can we get the Hot Shot mains back in here?
Aftershock. Archie was on Aftershock. If Archie can win on an Aftershock, then so can First Killer. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, I mean, they just got to find an answer for Wonder Mike. Or they need somebody other than First Killer to score. I mean, there's two things that Rogue need. More spread out offense so that it's not just everybody hopping in first backpack, and they need to just get bodies against Wonder Mike or something, you know?
Stax, as a quick aside, next to getting bodies in front of Wonder Mike, you know, I always love it's more than occasional Twitch chat comment where you know they're not watching and they just put wow. Like every time that the casters every time it switches back to the casters, there's at least 3 chatters during our little like nothing segment where we're not talking about anything. Just be like, wow. And it's like we really amaze these people, Stax, with our astute analysis, our wonderful talking. Can we get wows in chat, please? Thank you.
Wow. You are a treasure, Jorby. Never change.
Never will. We'll see if Rogue can figure it out, but I think eUnited do have the blueprint in
You've
how to
got him
beat
in
Rogue.
the palm of your hands. Look at this.
Woo!
Oh, that's great. What's
Oh
not
yeah,
great
they're all.
is
I see
Rogue's
nothing but wows now. Oh look, there's W Omega lol W. Yo, that's
Oh,
next
that's a
level.
good one.
That's
That's a good
true Twitch chatting right there. I can appreciate that. You know what else I can appreciate? Turn Tango. That might be my favorite. And he did turn Turnip.
Yeah,
He did turn Turnip. That's his first name change of the day.
Much. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the first today.
All right. This is how you know Turn Turo means business.
Stax, eUnited has asked what you want Twitch chat to say next.
Oh man, that's rough. Let's go eUnited.
I think some Rogue fans might be upset with that one. Whoa, Taroko, he got the cannon. And then, oh, why? Nobody from Rogue can score. They just hit it right. Oh, man. You know when you're playing one of those like super cyberpunky games and you miss your shot and there's the big red comes up right where you shot, like to indicate that that's not where you're supposed to shoot? That's eUnited's whole net. When a player's in net, every time Rogue shoot it, it's just a giant red and an X on top of it. Look at that! You can't stop Wonder Mike today! You can't stop Wonder Mike today!
I don't normally play those games, Jorby. They're usually gone by the time I can to buy them. United open up the scoring. God, Wonder Mike, he is on a mission tonight.
That double was nasty, dude!
That was sick. That's 7 goals in the series.
Yeah, that's not your older brother's double touch. That's Wonder Mike's double touch.
Good grief. He had more goals than anybody coming into this series in Summit 2, at least on the North American side. And he is not disappointed. There's just sometimes you can tell a player is locked in.
Yeah. Where he can't win he can't lose a single 50 rather. And Rogue finally find a way to make eUnited's post work for them. You could probably count on 3 sets of hands how many times they hit the post or crossbar. But First Killer finally figured out how to get it in instead of out.
Look, it wasn't pretty, but it doesn't always have to be. Rogue will take these goals any way they can get them.
Really will. They just haven't been able to hang on the ball. Look at that.
Oh, Wonder Mike. Still downfield, keeping the pressure on. 2 Rogue players almost got tangled up. Oh, what a win by the Ajax!
Oh! Always playing it for the dunk here. First a little pinch, nice. Another touch to make it awkward. Good luck, Turo. Have fun watching that one go in. Tango to that.
Well then.
It's your go, Stax. A. Jackson put that one in.
Yeah?
Put respect on it.
You know, solid 5 out of 7.
That's 100% where I come from.
Well, Rogue's got to get back into it here. 90 seconds left.
Crossbar
One off
again.
the crossbar. Follow
You're
up
done.
his save by Wonder Mike.
It's over.
Oh, boy.
It's 2-1 with a minute 25. It's over. I'm pulling a Cole.
That's a little
I'm calling the game
premature.
over early so that it's hype when I'm wrong. Except I'm not wrong. How many times has Rogue shot this ball?
It's incredible.
I don't even understand, dude. Like,
They should have, I don't know, 4 goals right now.
yeah,
Against
more
any
than that.
other team.
More than that. I swear, dude, 7 shots have banged off the crossbar, and the other 7 have banged off an eUnited car. Look, they got their number. They don't get the goal. Wonder Mike's like, we don't need to score again. Just puts the ball in the corner, no problem. Toro Tango needs some new feet.
They still got 40 seconds to work with, but Had a tough time getting out of their own zone, and eUnited looking for the knockout blow. Ajax, that's going to sail off of Turin Tango. It's a good first touch to get around one. First killer needs another challenge to center. At least kept the play alive. Great pass, nice shot. Better save by Ajax.
Oh, and Tristan gets away with the triple commit because he used his teammate as a launching pad. How do you just get away with something like that at the end of a game where you're only winning by 1? You're supposed to get scored on in those situations. You're not supposed to win the game. Look at this. Tristan doesn't care. Hang on, bro. Watch him do it. Watch him do it right here, Stax. It's perfect first.
Oh,
you guys, I'm so sad. I'm still sad. Wait, I might be less sad. Nope, I'm all
desperation
sad.
At this point. They gotta rush back. I mean, they can at least keep this in the air. I mean, eUnited stayed all the way back, so anything on the blue half of the field, Rogue's gonna have a lot of time and space, but that win right there will do it. And eUnited's on match point.
Ooh, man, that one was close for a second, but then Rogue couldn't keep it over there. And Rogue can't. Did they really only have 10 shots on net? Dude, I feel like Rogue had 20 shots on net.
They had 10
shots. I counted more than 10 crossbar hits.
Counted.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, they had 10 shots the game counted. We know how accurate that is sometimes. They had a lot of chances to come away with just 1 goal. That's got to be brutal. It's got to be frustrating too, because eUnited, you know, they opened the door a few times and Rogue couldn't capitalize. And now time's running out. Rogue's down to their final 5 minutes in this tournament unless they can turn things around. And it would be a huge comeback against an eUnited team that's getting this kind of contribution out of Wonder Mike.
Yeah, but it's like not only do you hit the crossbar every time you're on offense, but you don't allow eUnited to score again on defense. So you make it look like it's close. And it's not, I feel like a Chiefs right now. I feel perpetually unhappy about the gameplay on the field. You know, Rogue, score your chances. Make it interesting. That's it though. That's the most scathing I can get. You know, Chiefs is way better at the scathing commentary.
Yeah, someone in chat thought it was about 14 with crossbar and post. I'm inclined to agree. 14 is a reasonable number.
Wait, 14 crossbar hits?
No. 14 shots total with.
No. There was way more than that. There was way more than that.
You think it was more than that? All right.
Yeah.
We don't count. Sorry, guy in chat. Jorby says you're wrong. I think you're right.
I don't think I've ever heard you side with Twitch chat.
What? That's all I've done this week. What are we talking about?
Oh wait, no, that's true. You do side with Twitch chat when it furthers your own agenda.
Remember, it was a triple.
Yeah. Watch eUnited score right here. Rogue, why are you double committing? Don't panic. You got 2 there. 2 very capable players.
Alive later. Goes off to the side. Churro with the stop. Well, he's got to get something going. I mean, you know, we talked about Chiroko being quiet, and then he came out and scored. Turin Churro only has a couple of assists to his name. It's been all first killer with the scoring, minus the 1 strike from Turin Tango. Or rather, from Chiroko. Close enough. Give or take.
It is pretty close there, isn't it? It's kind of like T. Carell and me almost calling him T. Carelli all the time.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I would never make that mistake. T. Carell's good at the game.
Very good. Oof. Carelli's decent.
Yeah.
Taroko's pretty good,
can't
too.
talk.
I think Rogue do have a way forward. It's got to be more of this with Taroko. He doesn't have a lot of boosts. That's a smart approach. Bait the upwards momentum, force the defender to weave up and down with you. You'll always have the advantage as the attacker in that situation when the defender's playing off the ball like that, if you can properly fool him and he's not just, you know, brainlessly ball chasing. Look at that pass. Ooh, that was tough for Wonder Mike to stretch.
Oh, Ajax has Tristan in front, but he had to kind of shuffle over, and now Chiroko has a lot of free reign to play with here. Only half a tank of boost, so as he gave up the corner to get this downfield. First killer, no. Follow-up from Turin Tango is saved away as well, and here goes eUnited again, looking for another quick counter strike, but that came off the back wall so quick, and this went right at the net so fast, and first killer now has 6 goals in the series.
Yeah, eUnited with our own worst enemy on that push. It started so good because Rogue came down the field initially, and they looked fearless. Like, Rogue went for a couple hard passes down the field. All 3 United players sat in net, and they're like, cool, not threatened by a shot. And then they took it back down the field, but then a lot of hard touches against the backboard that they clearly weren't expecting. And I think they were just trying to play it really fast and just didn't have the resources to do it. But look at Tristan. Oh, dude. What a save.
Well, maybe a reversal of fortune now. If Rogue can make some of these goal line saves and deny these high-quality eUnited chances, I mean, Rogue's got at least a puncher's chance here at coming back in this series. We saw they had their backs against the wall against Space Station Gaming earlier today. Wasteland was a crazy, crazy game. This goes across to nobody in particular. First killer is too far back. Still ends up with a shot because, of course, he does.
Oh my gosh,
brewing for Rogue, but eUnited up to the task. It's one to Mike, who has been battling first killer offensively and defensively all through the series.
Wow. United have handled all of Rogue's attempts excellently. There were some tough pushes there in front, and they didn't get a solid clear every time either, so they're repositioning as well. There have been some tight situations, but they haven't stayed on defense for too long. This is really tight for now, but watch out for Taroko. He's really starting to heat up. He's getting solid touches just like that. And Tristan gets that save, but seriously, watch out for Taroko. He might be the one to put in the game winner.
Well, I talked about an overtime winner, perhaps, for Taroko before, and, well, the game never got to overtime. They came close. Boy, they had their chances. This goes across, and first killer's got the clear.
Yeah, I just think Taroko has a good mind on this game in particular. He's approached all of his challenges pretty smartly, but he doesn't have to do too much. Like, as long as Rogue don't overcommit here, I think they can hold the 1-goal lead, even add.
All the way to the corner again. eUnited still looking for an answer in the final minute. It is weird to see eUnited without a goal at this point, but they have had their chances stifled by the Rogue defense, and they haven't had nearly as many of them as we're used to seeing. One to Mike, yet another save. This time, he's being asked to carry the effort defensively, but now he's got to take over on offense. Can't get by Taroko. Can hang around in the play, though. That's close and saved away by Turin Turo. But it goes right to one to Mike, who seems to be everywhere. And they got first killer hung up in the net, but could not score.
Oh, beautiful development from eUnited. They got one more chance at a push here. That's exactly what you want to see. Getting physical in the net when you can't beat Rogue on the line, but they're in trouble right now.
Turo taking his time, and that forces eUnited to burn some boost and some time, and the ball just skids to a stop, and Rogue's still alive. We go to game 6.
Oh man, I'm not convinced Rogue take this to game 7. Like, there were some close chances there for eUnited, and then they get the structure they wanted on offense, and then they would just get beat by hard clears by all three players. It's not just first killer, Taroko or Turin Tango. Honestly, all three players had to step up to keep eUnited out of the net. Like, they tried a bunch of different approaches. They tried to get physical. They tried slowing it down. They tried a one-to-Mike solo play. They even tried a couple Ajax solo efforts, none of them coming to fruition. So eUnited had the ideas, but Rogue held on. It looks tenuous, though.
Yeah, there's been a lot back and forth with just quick counterattacks and then just near misses. I mean, we're talking about the smallest of margins.
Yeah.
Separating both these teams from a 1-0 game turning into, a 4-3 shootout. The margins are that small at this level. And to keep that going for an entire best-of-7 series, it's something that you really have to respect and appreciate out of these players, because at this level, the game is, I don't want to say impossible to understand for the average person. I mean, I don't understand it, and I'm below average, so take that for what it's worth. But, just the stress that these players constantly put each other under on the pitch, I mean, it is mind-blowing.
I mean, yeah, we've heard pros talk about it outside the game, about how stressful, like, high-stakes matches can be. I believe it was Speed, who was saying, you know, you drop your focus for, you know, less than a second out of the 5 minutes, and the ball's in your net. That's just how it goes at this level. That's how fast it is, and how little, like you were saying, little the margin for error is. Taroko gets the first goal here for Rogue, and this comeback continues.
Yeah, it's a great start for Rogue because it's first killer having to pass off to someone, and it's Taroko on the doorstep. Big, confident score for Rogue in the first minute, and it's got eUnited on the back foot yet again. But for how long? Gotta have this as Wonder Mike was coming on. And Rogue gets the clear, and they may have a numbers advantage. That's a great touch by Ajax to slow everything down. Oh, what a bump.
That was cool. That looked really cool. That's all I got for that one.
So eUnited trailing again. They could not score in Game 5 on Wasteland, and you know, Dazzler and I have talked about Neo Tokyo as a map in general. Game 6 in these best-of-7 series, there have been some stories to tell, including involving Rogue. This going right back to the Rogue net, and Turinturo has forever and a day to play it away. But he's got to be careful about where he does, because eUnited just seems to be lurking everywhere around midfield.
Yeah, but every time they push the ball up, they don't have a lot of boost. Although this is looking like a pretty opportunity, but then first killer happened. And Taroko launching it forward.
Uh-oh.
That's just good for Rogue. That was the worst possible touch for eUnited.
So one of the things we learned very early on in our time in Rocket League, one person goes for the ball.
I got it. Hello.
Two cars going for the same ball at the same time. Bad idea. And it bites eUnited bad here in Game 6. Trying to put away Rogue, and this team keeps hanging around. Certainly not doing themselves any favors. Tristan can't get through first killer, and Rogue keeps the shutout going towards the second half. Finally, one goes through. eUnited turns to the king, and Wonder Mike delivers.
It takes a very close angle shot like this to actually get by Rogue on defense, and Taroko got caught out straight up. Taroko, I don't think there was a reason for him to bite so early. Like, you watch Wonder Mike get by two defenders there. As soon as you decide to drive out of the net, you've already lost. Even if Wonder Mike doesn't score there, that's an easy rebound for eUnited, and that's probably a goal anyway.
Well, now we're into the second half. Rogue, they've got to convert those as the shot rings off the crossbar. And eUnited get away with one big time. And then if they score here, look out. Turinturo trying to keep this alive and delay because he's without Taroko.
Nice challenge from Wonder Mike too. This is really a nothing play for eUnited. Ajax was the only player with any boosts, and he used all his to push forward. Now two get demoed. This is not really, it's not looking positive right now if you're an eUnited fan.
Do we have one?
Rogue just stealing the ball away. Yeah.
We had a rule 1 in the corner.
No rule ones. Hashtag no rule ones.
I'm with you.
No. We're done.
Hey, Chad, is it rule 1 or rule 2?
Don't ask them dumb questions. How about this? Ask chat how much time is left on the clock. Ask chat what it takes for Team A to beat Team B. Well, Jorby and Stax, you know, I really think it's when one team puts less balls in. That's when they win. I've been really on Twitch chat today. I don't know.
You have. Yeah. What did they do to deserve this?
Well, Twitch chat's done a lot of things. So have Rogue. That's a nice shot by Tango.
That's his first goal of the series.
Wow, really?
That is his first.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when First Killer scored 7 out of the, now 11 that they have, yeah, I guess it makes sense. Tristan's only got 1. On the other side, it's been all Wonder Mike. Very similar stat lines up and down the lineup for both teams. Almost identical. It's actually kind of scary.
Well, I mean, how many times, Stax, have we watched Rogue and eUnited play against any other team? And it's been one to Mike and First Killer constantly popping off. I mean, it's almost like we've seen these two teams before. Tristan has his moments. Ajax has his moments as well, but like this is one to Mike's team. Same goes for Rogue. Yeah, Turo has his moments. Oh, Ajax really wanted that own goal. No, calculated self-back pass to get off the rebound. He knew the whole time before Rogue launched off the ground, he was like, watch me totally bait them. High quality bait from Ajax. Stax.
Like at LSU, they're built different.
They certainly think so, don't they? Rogue, though, we get another Game 7. I did not think it was going to come to this.
I mean, it's tough to imagine that Rogue would come back in this series and bring it all the way to 7 because it looked like a 1v1v2v2. You know, it was like you've got First Kill and one to Mike just trading goals back and forth, and then you've got just 4 other support players all over the pitch. But it's worked out. Finally, Rogue got more contributions out of Turoko, out of Turnturo. They took a more active stance in the game. And on the eUnited side, they were not ready for somebody other than First Killer to step up. Now they have to adjust. And, you know, it's got to be somebody other than one to Mike.
Yeah, Stax, you know, your player storylines and the things that they have to do to step up and win the game is cool and all. But let's be honest, all Rogue fans out there have read this book, heard this song, and watched this movie before. We all know Rogue love to go down early, get put on match point, then they barely squeak by, force a match point game, whether it be a best of 5, a best of 7, a best of 23, a best of 113 that's still being played back from 2015. Rogue will always take it the distance, and they will always lose match point. I think it's a United time. Can Rogue win Game 7? I don't know, Stax. I haven't seen that curse lifted.
That is a very Spaceman thing of you to say.
No, Spaceman 4, no. I don't have to talk about the Spaceman sweep. No one in chat knows about that. And Ajax sunk it into the corner.
Yeah, Ajax, just a low roller, perfect positioning. So he has this one coming off of Tristan's feed, and, well, that's what eUnited needed. Somebody other than Wonder Mike. They got it.
Uh-oh. I always bring up the Rogue Game 7 thing as a meme, but I'm pretty sure that they've lost more times than they have won every time I've made that joke. So is it really a meme if they actually... look, it's 4:30 left, Stax. I'm not trying to call it this early, but man, it's just... They start it like that. Here, look, they get it back. No problem.
Oh, do they? Maybe?
There we go.
Maybe they do. First Killer comes through again. Whoa, what a brilliant attack from Rogue, but even better, this stuff from First Killer. Highlight reel stuff.
Wow. And really nice job for First Killer getting under it. Nothing much more to say about it. Flip resets give you the space, and First Killer is really good at them. Thank you for coming and watching.
Oh, one to Mike. It looked like he was going to take on the entire Rogue defense. Little ambitious. Little optimistic play. Turoko with 2 big stops against Ajax and company. As Tristan will try to keep the attack alive for eUnited. One to Mike having to play more of a table setter role here in this latter half of the series. He hasn't been able to take over the series like he had the first half.
Yeah, the space overall has been non-existent. Typically a quick pass will happen between both teams, but then they'll boom the last touch, because that first defender from the other team starts to come up and try to force a challenge. So space is at a premium right now, and Tristan knows it, couldn't quite sink it.
Tristan was up for that. Okay. Sure.
They were pre-jumping stuff early. Actually, no, that was... I'm thinking of Arsenal.
Yeah,
never mind.
That was Space Station.
I just have flashbacks from that, man.
That's the team that waits in the grand finals for whoever survives this lower bracket. They still have to go through the Knights after this epic 7th game. Man, what a finish we have set in store here for the Rocket League Summit 2. This has been great.
It really has been. And eUnited are playing excellently, Stax. Like, this has been really close. And Rogue, they're not able to find easy pressure against the net, just because the option coverage and the structure on defense from eUnited has been really difficult to crack through. And so they have to stretch on a lot of these plays. You see them go for these hard out bounces that are tough for the follow-up man to get to. They have to stretch with boost to get to them. That's because eUnited are forcing them that way. Like, Rogue have had 0 easy possessions.
A good read by Tristan to cut off the potential attack from Rogue, but first killer still happens to be downfield. And Ajax missed that, but there was nobody on the weak side. And then Ajax just gets nudged out of the zone by Wondamike.
Man, this is why I get hyped for this eUnited team. Look at the potential on the pitch right now. Like, why can't they play like this all the time? Like, and then Rogue comes to the table, and you guys are like, yeah, we can play cracked. Like, this has been such an entertaining Game 7. It might even go to OT. But, man, everybody is boxing heavyweight, and first killer puts another one in. He cannot be stopped.
All first killer. He didn't have to hard carry during this comeback. He's been able to play a lot more comfortably, pick his spots, and now he's right back to being first killer in Game 7. 2 big goals. Rogue that much closer to completing the comeback, looking for one more, and that's denied.
And as good as the defense has been, United needs something that isn't Tristan getting bumped out of the play. Wondamike shades around. Can he get the goal? No.
United have had their chances. Ajax, he has the lone strike for them here in Game 7. Good team play out of Rogue, but they don't gain the zone just yet. Now they do. First killer. Ambitiously going for the corner, and now it's numbers the other way. 2-on-1. eUnited as first killer catches up. Oh, that's brilliant out of first, and it keeps Rogue in front with a minute to go.
Wondamike is flying all over the place right now. Forced a bad touch out of Rogue. Now Ajax bodies one out of the way. Tristan sent one out, but it was easily blocked. And eUnited, it looks good, good, good. And when you expect great, well, Rogue just outplay you on defense. This has been excellent crunch time gameplay from Rogue, but they got 40 more seconds to hang on.
That's going to be a long 40 seconds. It could be made a lot shorter. Turin Tilapia might have just put Rogue into the lower finals.
He's been fishing all day, but man, this take home is gonna be absolutely fat. All the tilapia in the world. Turin tuna, Turin tilapia, Turin tartar sauce. Yeah. Take that to lunch and eat it.
And another one barred down. Chaos on the goal line. And first killer with maybe the most appropriate ending to a series we've seen all week. Good grief. What is that?
Oh, that's Rogue in Game 7. The curse is broken. The curse is lifted.
Good
Stax, you know, now that we're at the end and Rogue have won, I can safely say that, you know, I have eaten well, and lunch was pretty good.
Yeah, humble pie.
Yeah. Watch eUnited come back with 10 seconds. Wouldn't that be funny?
I know, right?
No, that wouldn't be funny because then we go and we get Turtles 20-minute overtime or something. Were you here for that the other day? Turtles like, I want a 20-minute overtime, man. Every game, I want 20-minute overtime. I'm like, that's cool, man. You want to do an 8-hour match? Thanks.
Well, eUnited does not have the ball going the right way. First killer. Now he's put it away on a kickoff goal. Also fitting. What is this for him in the series? You got like 10 goals for him yet?
Yeah. Is this the equivalent of scoring too much stacks to where you go get a space station again and then you get clapped? Or do you think that this Rogue that we saw against eUnited can, you know, not repeat their fate against Space Station? Because, I don't know, man. eUnited played them close, except for Game 7 at the end, where Rogue took the dub, the Dubberino, the Dubbington, the Dubster. It's Dubstering 101 by Rogue.
It is how to complete a 3-1 comeback as Rogue. Man. What a comeback from Rogue. I mean, especially in Game 7, you know, it looked like eUnited was going to bring it back, and then, nah, fam. It's all over. Rogue they reached this point, I think, after they won Game 5, they're like, you know what? Like, we got this far. We might as well just go try and win the whole thing. Get another shot at Space Station Gaming. They are one step closer. Lower finals coming up, but first we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we will break down this huge comeback from Rogue. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Rocket League Summit 2. Woo! So, first things first. This is why Jorby and Stax never cast together ever. After,
What?
if you guys
That was brilliant. I had a lot of fun.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying it was so brilliant that they can only whip it out. They can only whip it out Shogun Johnny Boy level greatness every once in a while. Stax.
It overshadows everybody else. I get it.
Yeah.
They took a,
even through those shades, you're jealous of showing Daz.
Well, you're wrong. I could be the least jealous I've ever been in my life. I actually am more nervous. This is the last Death segment I do for the year. But that being said, let's actually talk about that matchup, right? You guys sat there and watched through it all. Rogue versus eUnited. What happened, Jorby? I know you're talking about your lunch, but there's some more to digest here, and that's a series.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to sit in the stomach for a little bit, but first killer happened, man. Like, first killer happened. Wonder Mike tried to happen, but first killer was just too strong. It really just turned into that. And eUnited, this team has got so much potential. Like, they played Rogue so close, but the issues came breaking out of midfield and staying on offense. They couldn't generate nearly enough shots. Everything looked so great for eUnited on defense and in the midfield, but then as soon as you get to Rogue's half of the field, well, that's where the shots were few and far between. Unless they got rebounds like that one from Wonder Mike that you saw, they could rarely put balls in the back of the net. And that's certainly a problem for eUnited moving forward, but Rogue were just too strong for them.
eUnited kept it close, Stax. I mean, did it really just seem like Rogue dominated that entire series?
No, not the entire series. I mean, the first half was all about Wonder Mike. It was Wonder Mike versus First Killer for, the better part of like three and a half games. And then, kind of the support staff for Rogue picked up. And, Ajax and Tristan didn't match what Taroko and Turinturo were able to do to help out First Killer. And once that weight was lifted off of First shoulders, then it just became a matter of whether or not Wonder Mike could keep up with all of Rogue, because nobody else was helping him on the eUnited side. Answer was very simply, as we saw, no, they couldn't. First Killer went off for 10 goals, and when you let one player score that often, you're not going to win many series.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, looking at this and looking at the overall arch of things, guys, no, don't laugh, Jorby. You're gonna make me laugh.
Oh, no, sorry. You're right. You're right. Too serious.
Yeah. Looking at
what are we doing
this,
here?
Do you think Rogue could take the whole thing? Do you think they start the run here? They're going up against PK next. Stax, I know you got that the PK fever, but what are you thinking here? What are you thinking here?
No, I don't think Rogue can take the whole thing because I picked PK to do that. So they've at least got to make the finals. So no, I got PK here. Even though Rogue's going to be
Space Station were freestyling on the Knights, and you think that they're going to win?
Well, I made the pick earlier. I don't abandon my picks, Jorby. Sheesh.
Well,
I believe.
We need as much faith as possible here, as we're going to get this next match set up real soon. Knights versus Rogue coming up soon. Still more Rocket League to digest, so I hope you got a big belly. We'll be right back.